Welcome back, boys and girls. This is the NAO show, and that's all the energy I have because I fucking lost to Dilly. And that's our show. I'll see you next week. Peace.
Nice show, guys.
Good show.
Great show. I I just gotta start the show off with. It's been a very long week for me. As you can tell, I'm in mourning. I'm wearing Joe's jersey.
I want to know. I want to get to the bottom of the hand injury. Was it that happened before the game and it aggravated?
Uh,
What was that about?
it had to have happened before the game because that motherfucker out there was like, "Oh, you know what? All these people are playing Joe Burrow in their leagues. I'm gonna have him start and then get hit one flipping time and then pull his ass." That's what he's a motherfucker because that's exactly what he was thinking.
I
Uh,
I did not place any bets on any of your players after that. I told you I wouldn't, and
Why?
I didn't. That's true.
So going into the game, Mike sends me a picture of Joe Burrow, Andrews,
Yeah, Mark Andrews,
and one other person,
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Hmm.
All three of them had an absolute shit week.
Yep. So no more bets on your players. It was you and Aaron, I guess. I cared about the NAO.
uh,
I was on pace for that too. I was gonna hit all three. It was great, and then nope, ruined lives with that bet.
wow.
so, so Justin Jefferson getting all his DMs about freaking coming back. Everybody that's a Joe Burrow and Mark Andrews owner should be DMing you and being like, "Why'd you bet on this guy?"
Yeah, I did get my money back though after that, and I made more bets, but they survived the game.
Oh, that's great for that.
I
All
thought
right, let's get to the show.
here's my let me tell you my strategy though. I thought I actually had like
Oh,
this
okay,
some sort of like injury voodoo, possibly. Not that I want guys to get hurt, but I figure I'm either gonna win money or these. It was Amon Ross St. Brown, C.D. Lamb. That's what I was betting on, just in case. Just in case I had the injury voodoo, I thought if I'm either gonna win money or, you know, I'm gonna cripple the DBs and win.
More on that later. All right, Marky Mark, we're already off the rails here. All three of our hosts are here. You know who they are. Tank Top Mark. I am the Prince. Uh, Tank Top, I gotta say thank you for coming back from your island getaway with all of our money from the podcast. I appreciate you being here today.
The royalty checks are nice.
I mean,
I
do we
I
really
don't know.
thank him just because he ran out of money, or yeah? Thanks for coming back after you spent it all, bastard. All right, let's get to this show, man. We've got two trades to talk about. Actually, one trade and one we don't know what the hell it is, but we'll mention it. We'll give it honorable mention. First real trade we've got between the Prince and Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass. So the Prince gets Joshua Dobbs, someone in need of a quarterback, got Joshua Dobbs, and a 25 third rounder, which is your pick originally, Sean. And Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass got Dalton Schultz. You want to start us off on this one, Sean?
Well, I didn't want to sell Dalton Schultz like for the injury. I was shopping Schultz because Kincaid's coming on and having two tight ends is kind of a eh. Like if I can get some picks, I don't have picks. I needed to move him, and then it happened. It happened. I can't even talk about it. And then I needed another quarterback, so worked with friggin' Ricky there, and we threw some trades back and forth, and we got it done in about an hour. He's probably one of the easiest people to freaking do trades with. If he wants a guy, he'll be there. He'll talk, like throw counters back and forth. We'll get it done.
Well, he got.
Go ahead, Mike.
They got 0 votes in the poll, the anonymous poll. So,
Oh, for being hard to trade with.
Sean, you
Yeah,
got
there's
one.
no middle. There's no middle ground with Ricky anyway. It's if he, he's gonna do it or he's not, And if he's gonna do it, then you get it done quick. Quit freaking around, right?
I was surprised it happened, to be honest. I was surprised to see this one go through.
Yeah, why is that?
Yeah,
Well, you try to trade with the tips, and you get all sorts of, possible, I don't know what it is, all sorts of weird, deep analytical answers about this, that, and the other thing, timelines and ages, and it has to fit my team window. Maybe I'm talking to the wrong manager, though, is what I'm getting at here.
you're talking to the wrong fucking manager. First off,
So I
Sounds like
want to know
something's
how
over.
Dalton Schultz fits into their win in 4 years window. Is what Dobbs does not fit that window either. To be fair, but I was surprised. I think you got a great quarterback to fill in for Burrow.
well, he'll be a good number 2 behind Love.
Hey,
Yeah, if you get JJ back, you got a skinny stack. I know you love that. Usually it's because
It's not
of
a skinny stack.
Usually-
He's the starting quarterback. He's the lead wide receiver. That is not a skinny stack.
it's a backup
All right.
quarterback though, so it's a
Yeah.
skinny stack.
in another unknown league, I kind of want to start a fat stack. I'm going to start a Dobbs and Jefferson and Lawrence and Calvin Ridley. Going to get a fat stack going into the playoffs.
There you go. There you go, man. Well, I like this trade. With somebody I respect in the industry made a very profound statement saying that he thinks the best trade benefits both squads in some way, and I think this fits that
Wait.
description.
Didn't you freaking say that?
I might have, but I saw it from somebody here recently, and I was like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, And this one did make a lot of sense because you needed a quarterback there behind Love after losing Burrow, and they got Schultz to go along with Stroud. They already had Nico, so they got a lot going on with the Houston offense, which is a good offense right now. So Schultz, the only downside on Schultz is he's not signed. He's only signed through this year. I don't know. I would imagine Houston liked what they see, and they might try to get him long term. But that's the only thing that's a little bit of a downside is he's still a free agent next year, so we'll have to see how that all shakes out. But I think it's a good trade overall.
Not my chair, not my problem. I already got my own problems to deal with.
Yeah, you sure do. All right, the other trade, man, was just Dalvin Cook for a 5th. Everybody knows that trade. I don't have anything to say about it. You guys have anything you want to add?
His value fell very quick.
Yes, it did.
He was a first-round pick not long ago.
Yeah. How quickly things can change in this game. All right. Well, why don't we move on to matchups from last week? We'll do some scores here, run them all down. We're going to start off with the Poo Crew 161. Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass 80. So, there's never an upset we wanted to see more. But the only upset was that Poo Crew took home the top honors this week. Who wants to start us off?
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, they did go with, I don't know what kind of stack it is, if it's the tight end, but quarterback, I don't know what that
Talking
is.
about this all fucking show now.
Is that I don't know what that would be, but it didn't help.
It didn't help.
But,
Hey, Schultz got 10 points though.
yeah, that's true. And Stroud is still very good, but I think,
Yeah.
is there an under, something that we're missing? Landon keeps bringing up. We're just waiting to win in the playoffs. So are they like not, are they hiding something in their lineup that nobody has noticed? Is there some sort of hidden strategy that we're all just too dumb to figure it out 11 weeks in? Because they keep losing, but they keep saying they're getting 1-1.
Yeah, it's a tall order. They are getting
See?
Kyron Williams.
Now you're
back.
thinking about it. What are they doing? What are they going to do come week 15? What do you do different?
Yeah.
All right, live on the NAO show, I want to bring up something to the commissioner. If you can see this,
Probably not.
he is scored points on the IR.
Oh boy, is that an
Uh-oh.
illegal roster?
No, he's not. No, not illegal. Not illegal. He's on the normal roster. He's not on the IR, what have you. But he is on sleeper as an IR person. But he scored almost 11 points last week.
Who was that? Was that a Charger? I couldn't see
No,
it
it
really
was
well.
Salvon.
Ahmed. Ahmed?
Oh, Ahmed, yeah, he played last week.
Yeah, he did play.
Sleeper
Yeah.
has him on IR.
Have him on IR?
Yeah.
That's weird, man. That's weird.
He
We'll have to
probably went-
clear this up after this.
Went
Clear
on
up
it
after
after
the
the
show.
game.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he must have gone on it
Uh,
after the game because he's played the last 4 weeks before that.
I didn't hear a thing about him going on IR, so I don't know. Thanks for
He's not in the IR slot. So.
If they cheated, I think you have to give them the win. It's the only way to deal with it.
I think you need to make a decision right now, Commissioner.
All right. I decide you don't get free reign anymore. Keep it to the show sheet, all right?
I started this show. I don't get paid. Y'all get paid. I do what the fuck I want.
We're taking this train off the rails, man. We're talking about Pooh Crew and Dr. Donkey and a dumbass here. So
It's on there.
I mean, if you're gonna
all right.
Well,
cheat
like-
the IR, you may as well do it against Ian.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What's that?
He knows a little something about that. So.
If they did cheat the IR, you may as well do it against Ian.
Yeah, that's true.
So
It's poetic justice, as they say. But they didn't win a championship with their freaking illegal roster. Well, their roster wasn't illegal, but Ian's was definitely.
I'm convinced that they're hiding some strategy that we haven't figured out yet.
So what you're saying is, as soon as it's concrete that they are in the bottom four, they're gonna just start blowing people away.
Well, they're for sure in the bottom 4. I think they're waiting for week 15.
Oh yeah, because they haven't won a game yet. Okay, I got it.
Something's going on.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Maybe they're helping Silly. It's kind of weird that maybe, what's Silly's roster been doing? Pretty good. Do we think Silly's good enough to do that? Maybe. Maybe he's got two
Yeah,
other people helping him.
Fucking think tank.
And then what happens right now? Silly's in 7th. Who are they going to get in first week of the bottom 4 playoffs? The Tips. Who are they not going to help that week? Silly. He's going to mess up his lineup. Easy win. There it
Tank
is.
Top just coming back from vacation with all these freaking crazy theories that just might be.
That's what it is.
All right, gentlemen, let's as
You'll all
wise man-
see.
as yeah. As a wise man once said, moving on.
Well, that's the second.
Go to our next. Let's go to our next score. This one's close to staying derailed, man. We got to get it back on tracks here. So. All right, we've got 8-Bomb 130, Goofy JZ 86. So on a day where Gabriel Davis laid the biggest of goose eggs, 8-Bomb's Bills still carried them. to the win in this one. So yeah, I'm always saying it kind of depends on his bills. His roster goes how the bills go.
I think it's hilarious because it seems like every time A-Bomb is in our chat and he's talking about like who he needs to start, it's always Gabe Davis, and he's like, "Oh, I'll start Gabe Davis so he can do absolutely nothing for me."
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
I think he's seriously about every fourth game now. It's like three stinkers. Everybody takes him out, and then he smashes.
26 points later.
Yeah, yeah, crazy man.
Even well, Mark Andrews had, you know, a quick start. At least he got him some sort of points. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looked like it was going to be a big day for him, man. He had two catches, on the first drive, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and was down there fighting to get over the goal line when he got hurt. So
And then when he was on his back, like slamming his hands into the ground, I was like, "That's bad. That's real bad."
yeah, I mean, yeah, if Andrews has a normal day, this could have been one of those big A-bomb days. He had 130 points and only 3.3 from Andrews, who started out great. That was a shame, man.
Well,
I don't
Goofy's
know.
team's weird.
What's
Yeah,
that?
I just
how
think
so?
I just think his team's weird, isn't it? I like it, but it's weird. Goofy has like all everybody's like cast off players, but they seem to do okay. It's just weird.
Speaking of being very heavily invested into a backfield, he has every Green Bay Packers running back there is.
Yeah.
None of them are doing well. I
Jones,
think
man.
Jones got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
That
Yeah, he
sucks
did.
to hear.
Week to week, but it's a knee, I think, and yeah, it's just not good. Not good for him.
I was I was chatting with Goofy a little because we were celebrating the Jameson Williams touchdown, because
Yeah,
as you do, and he was like talking about all his first round picks. You kind of forget he has half the first round next year.
he certainly does.
Can we start an over under on how many of those are going to be busts? Not because like I want Goofy to bust on all of his picks, but like just statistically, like some of those are going to be freaking bust, right?
It's probably hard to hit on all of them, but
Yeah. Well, he has his will be in the top four. Aaron's will be in the middle, and then he has Ian's, Mark's, and the DBs. So he's early, mid, late. So he gets basically all over the first round.
yeah, and of course he can trade him if he wants to for proven players.
The first round is going to take 5 days.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna hit the button and walk away. I don't have anything going on in the second round. I'm gonna hit the button and walk away, man.
We might as well start the draft now because
Yeah,
like
we may as well, man.
not get done until the playoffs are freaking done anyways.
Oh man. So I'm looking up and down Goofy's here. He started the right defense. It was only 1 point, so it wasn't like he had a big difference there. It looks like now he's having trouble starting the right quarterback because he had Lawrence on the bench with 32. So maybe that's his new theme is going to be starting the right quarterback. But are you going to start? Are you going to start Lawrence over Hurts? Really? So.
I know a very astute manager that sat Trevor Lawrence for Dobbs 2 weeks ago.
Oh
The
yeah.
capotes on that person are just absolutely massive, or
Did it
not
work
there at
out?
all.
Did it work out?
It most certainly did work out.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
I still don't think I sit Jalen Hurts for T-Law.
No.
Jalen Hurts, and
Not with that rushing upside. Although ironically, Law got what 2 rushing touchdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what propelled him to that big score this week. So well, he does have Goofy does have Ty Chandler on the bench getting 13 points. So maybe that'll maybe that's somebody you can put in there over Aaron Jones. So he's got to compete down there in the bottom four too with all those picks. He's got his own pick, and I don't know if he's got anybody else's pick that might be down there, but he's got to compete. He's got to compete down there. Not enough just to get there. You got to compete.
Like, un- besides the fact that Humpty and the Professor Donkey Dick over there it has something up their sleeves, and that they're like hiding something, like F and G should win the bottom four, right?
Oh yeah.
He's
He's got the
got
best
the
roster. I think he could do a poll and everybody would agree he had the best roster. So
I think
he should definitely.
on paper I give it to F and G if you're looking at it,
Yeah.
but you ride the hot hand. I think right now Silly wins.
Yeah, no, Silly definitely got
I think that's
guys.
a great point.
But who has Silly's pick? Do I want that to happen or do I change my vote?
I'm pretty sure the DBs have Silly's pick
Well, that seems
and
stupid.
or fucking Poo Crew.
They've been very quiet about that. If that's the case.
Oh, it is not the Poo Crew. He does not have a first round pick. Let's go.
Oh, because he traded all this for Tony Pollard. What a bum.
What a bum. Guess who has one first round pick next year? The DBs and who it is.
That sucks.
That fucking sucks, man. Sucks. Billy, do everybody a fucking favor and just freaking tank real bad in the playoffs.
Let's see. He's oh yeah. He's 2 games behind it. Aaron into the bottom 4 playoffs. So I don't think he catches Aaron, but maybe. Could happen. That'd be great.
All right, on to the next matchup. Let's go.
All right, we've got Tank Top Mike 128, the DBs 122. So the worst paint job in the. you didn't tell me you were going to slow clap. You got to tell me that stuff in the pre-show chat.
No, it's better when it's.
Whoa.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
Wanda, we're
So the
talking
worst-
about me.
Oh, we're talking to a dog. The worst tank job in the history of fantasy football keeps on getting worser as the bottom tanker stays up top. Can't call him the top tanker anymore.
One of these days, I'm gonna get down to the bottom.
You can't do anything right, man. What the heck?
You're not making it to the bottom. All right. What's your vibe on this one, Tank Top? What's up?
I remember listening to last week's show, and you said, I can't remember exactly what you said, but you were like, "What am I gonna actually do if I beat the DBs?" And that's all I could think about the whole time. Like, what am I actually supposed to do? But I think everybody says, it's the DBs or it's Ian. They're gonna win. I beat them both. I beat both of them this year already, and I was a bad start sit away from sweeping the DBs this year.
We gotta get you in the playoffs, and you got the juju going. I thought going into Monday night that Mahomes could have a tough matchup, and he only had 16.88. So they kind of kept him in check, but Swift he carried the day for you. He had a really good day, and he's looking so good with Philly. Kind of pisses you off at Detroit those couple of years, right?
I've got two words. I got 2 words for this fantastic crew that is on the NAO show, and all of our loving, daring, and loyal fans, and that is Gus Bus.
I love me some Gus Bus.
20-pointer.
He's killing it, man. What is he now? He's got to be up there towards in the top five. All them touchdowns he's scoring.
He's 6.
6. Okay, all right, he's right there. Yeah, it's funny. He's not. It's not. It's not big numbers. It's just a lot of touchdowns. It really is.
2 tutties and 62 yards and a couple of catches.
I feel like it's like having Jerome Bettis in fantasy. I feel like that's his what he would do. Just no yards, 3 touchdowns.
4 carries.
I imagine if Chain could have stayed in there, it might have been a different story. That was kind of crazy for him to. What, he get one carry and he's gone. We waited 5 weeks for him to get back. One carry and he's out again. So probably missed this week, I would imagine. So 1 point by Chain, that was a killer right there.
I tried to.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it now. With the firing of the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh, I bet Pickens sees the end zone next week.
It feels like they might have a pretty good offensive day. It'd be nice if Pickens gets it, but somebody's. It feels like when you fire your offensive coordinator and they're going to go off a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't think about. I was just looking at Pickens getting 5.7. It's probably not bad for the game they had against Cleveland. I watched a lot of that game. So yeah, there wasn't much going around. He might have been one of their better guys. Of course, Warren had the big day, but nobody catching the ball had much of a day. So yeah, we'll see what they can do without Canada. We've been calling for Canada for a while, and when they re-upped it, I thought he was going to be okay. This will be his last year, and so and they Pittsburgh normally does not fire people mid-season, but so if they do, it was just time.
Also, just a quick thank you to the true anchor of my team. Well, Matt Collins. He's really, but one of the true emerging leaders, I would say, is Jerry Jeudy, and I just needed to congratulate him on the solid week he had. Everybody coming into this season, they talk about, oh, Stephon Diggs, Stephon. Who gives a shit? Jerry Jeudy. That's what I gotta say.
JJ. Love us some JJ. All right. Well, Sean.
Fucking Jerry. That fucking turd nugget. Oh, man.
I'm gonna keep starting him. I'll keep winning.
Oh, keep doing it, my man. Keep doing it. Golly. He ain't doing shit or dick for your team, but man, is he really pushing you over the line. Oh.
Will say I will say speaking of starting the wrong defense, that when I was looking at the what going into Monday night, I did wonder why they started the Jets. I thought that was kind of odd. With Miami playing Las Vegas, I thought that was the no-brainer. I would have even gone Pittsburgh over Cleveland with the backup quarterback start. I thought it was kind of odd that they started the Jets. Kind of weird that you think about maybe even the right defense, they still could have gotten the win over you there. So
they're trying to overthink it. They're trying to get be the edgy start and try to do it. They don't think anyone can touch them.
Jets have a good defense, but with their quarterback situation, it's one of those things where the defense has to be on the field too much. So even the best defense is gonna kind of wither away under those kind of conditions. So.
Can you imagine the Saturday night, Sunday morning conversation over the defense? I don't know. I think we should start the Jets. The Jets, they're playing fucking Buffalo. Like, oh yeah, we should definitely do that. Like, I agree. Their defense is good. The Jets defense is good. It's Buffalo.
They both listen to the show normally, so I'll be interested to see comments in chat, see what their rationale was there, as it were. All right, Sean, we'll go on to the next one. You were a little premature there, you didn't let me finish. but here we are. The next score we have is the Johnsons, 126 FNG 88. So the tough luck continues for FNG. He lost Samuel to an ejection for a fight early in the game, and then he lost Kenny Walker to an oblique injury early in the game. So yeah, I think Ian was the one that said, "What the hell did FNG do to deserve all this bad luck?" But he sure has had some.
It's actually incredible at this point. I don't even know what it is. And then AJ Brown, one catch for 8
Yeah, I was
yards.
gonna say, hey Brown,
In a
number
game,
4.
in a game like a Super Bowl rematch, and AJ Brown, one catch.
He played the whole game and only had one catch.
After what, so many in a row with so many yards and whatever he had going on, that was just crazy, man. Yeah, he's a good. I worked with him. He's a good guy. He seems to be doing some clean living, and I don't get it, man. I don't know who the hell he pissed off, but someone out there's got it out for him this year.
You know what? This is all karma. Let me tell you. It's all that karma from not answering DMs.
That could be.
This is the fantasy gods telling you to shove it up your ass because you're not answering DMs. I'm just saying
Well, he won't watch the show to know that, but somebody will tell him.
it.
Yeah, they were talking junk about you, man. Yeah, and it's a shame he got such a good day out of James Cook. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Got a really good day out of James Cook. So if Walker does his normal thing, he has got a good 1-2 punch there in the running back spot, but lost
Good
Walker
on him.
early there.
At the beginning of the season, I was going after Tank Dell as a kind of a, oh, he won't be much of thing. I'll send you a third your way for him. Yeah. Obviously, he knew what he was looking at, and he knew a third was not good enough for Tank Dell.
Yeah, I think Dell's been
I
good.
get What do
Yeah,
you
the
think
wrong
about Mark?
got wrong quarterback going again here, man. He's had issues with that this year too, but I don't blame him for starting Goff over Fields, but Fields was the one that had the big game, so bigger game anyway.
You were pretty. You're propped up by Ayuk, your guy at the beginning of the season. He had a great day. Your running back crew did fantastic, and then the Cowboys.
Yeah, definitely had some underachievers on there, but those guys got it done. They definitely got it done. Yeah, what did you
Ayuk
tell me about Singletary last week, there, Sean?
He's fucking straight trash. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Singletary's that guy, man, that doesn't do much the first half of the season. He comes in there the second half of the season with fresh legs, and he's not a big guy. He's high in the missed tackles, so he makes things happen. He makes just enough happen. Yeah, it's not like I'm loving having Singletary in my running back 2 spot, but he seems to always do something about this time of year. I traded for him about this time of year last year, just to get a little extra something going. So
Let's go ahead and look at his advanced analytics. And
basically, I have 2 weeks, 2 good weeks, one on my bench and one in my lineup. So
he averages 7.5 points per game. Ah!
Mic drop.
If you know anything, you ride the hot hand. What has he done the last 2 weeks?
Okay. Before that, you had nothing. Nothing.
That's
Yes,
why he was
had
on my bench for the first one. First big game, I was like, I'm not convinced that they're going to give him that much work, but they sure as hell did. He had a big game last week, too.
all right.
Devin
I'll see you in a
Dingleberry.
couple, Marky Mark, right before
Was
the
that?
playoffs, so I can knock your ass out.
That's right, man. You and I, what, week 14, right?
Week 14.
Week 14.
I may be starting fucking backups of backups by then the way it's going, but
Jeez,
I'll
yeah,
still beat your ass.
I know Kyler's on by, so I'll definitely be starting Tua. I hope he's got a good matchup. But the Family Feud, week 14. Like you had a little something before Sean and I were talking over you.
Oh, I called him Devin Dingleberry in the middle of that.
Oh, Dingleberry.
That was it.
I heard a little something in there.
He just
Oh.
hangs around.
That's right. All right, we'll go to our last score of the week. We've got Silly Dilly 120, The Prince 94. So I wanted to get a quote from Dylan for the show, but his wife said he's still out taking victory laps after doubling his win total with 2 in a row. What do we think here?
Hey, he's on a heater.
What?
Didn't you? Ah, he won last week too, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He
Yeah, he's on a
doubled
heater.
his win total. Oh, he's on a heater. Okay, I'm sorry. Didn't catch what you said there. Tony being awful quiet over there. I know you're still in mourning for losing Burrow, but you kind of killed Chase too. I get
Oh.
it. I get it.
Jesus Christ. I have nothing nice to say about my team right now. Billy, 120 points, totally respectful. Like, friggin' Warren killed it. B. Roberts, he's killing it. Also, RB Robinson. Roberts.
There
I
you
said
go.
B.
There
Roberts.
you go.
I wanted.
There you
I
go.
was B. Rob, like, because you were talking about that in the
B.
chat
Rob.
today. But I don't know why I said Robert, like an asshole. Robinson, number 4 overall running back. Fantastic. Thielen, still getting your points. This motherfucker. Dubs gets put in against me and freaking gets 13 points. Good job.
I think that's the worst part, really.
I mean, Dubs was a good piece. Like, I wasn't going to get Connor without a good piece going the other way. And, I mean, it is what it is.
Okay, that's too much silence. I thought Mike might have something more, but
And then, on my side, Connor played a really good run defense in Houston. So he didn't do a whole lot. Also, Burrow went down, Cup went down, Chase went down when Burrow went down.
I'll be right back.
Nixon had a great day because they couldn't do anything in the throwing situation. Sutton, oh, he left. Sutton, wide receiver 1 in Denver. Put some
He'll be back.
respect on the motherfucker's name.
We'll remind him. He's breaking up a dogfight over there right now, but we'll remind him about Sutton. Sutton's been crazy, man. I told you that what's happening with you with Sutton this year is what I was expecting last year when I traded for him. So I was fine to get out from under an older guy when we made that trade, but he's been really good for you. I forgot about Cup. Yeah, gosh, I think he's hurt again. And he may not have been 100% right from the start. What do you have? One good
Whoa.
game since he He had one good game since he got back in, right?
Oh, I don't even know if he's that
And
bad.
Stafford got hurt, and it's just man, yeah,
He had
it's
two
tough.
good games. If 15 points is good for Cup,
Oh
it's
yeah,
good
no,
for most
you take it.
wide receivers. But
You
Cooper
take
Cup,
that from anybody. Take 15 from anybody, but yeah, man, that's. And I think he got hurt on that. What should have been a touchdown. It should have been a long touchdown for you.
Mm-hmm.
oh, that
So
makes me feel better.
yeah, yeah. It was a horrible week for you, man.
But
I feel for you.
I do think it's nice that Sutton has been able to do some of these things for you, and he's clearly learning from some of the other more talented wide receivers there. And I think that's nice that Judy's been teaching the in real life as well as fantasy lineups. So there you
I must have entered the fucking Twilight Zone. He just said Jerry Judy is teaching Sutton how to be a wide receiver.
go. Clearly, I don't know what else could have been. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing at all. Not one thing. Sutton is just good at one thing and one thing only. Catching touchdowns. That's what he's good at. That's what he does. It's my only highlight of the fucking week, so I gotta live on it.
Good win for Dylan there. Um, saw he started the defense I dropped. So I'm sorry if I contributed to it at all, Sean.
No, you're not. You're not sorry. You're not sorry.
No, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I am sorry. But no, good win. Two wins in a row for Dylan, and as we'll talk about later in the show, I've got him this week. So yeah, it could be interesting here for Dylan. He may be unbearable in the chat, but I digress. Let's move on to our Mr. Miyagi ass waxing of the week, which goes to none other than Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass. This is an interesting one. I actually got quotes from both of them today. Ricky's is short and sweet, as you would expect. He told me to go play chicken with a dump truck. So that was I don't know. It sounds familiar a little bit, but he told me go play chicken with a dump truck. Landon, in true Landon style, he said the fact that we haven't won this award more after losing 17 straight is a travesty, and we fully intend to rectify this miscarriage of justice. Sounds just like our beloved professor, doesn't
Nerd.
it?
Nerd.
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 Yeah. Oh, and I'll tell you what that means after the podcast. I don't want to take too much time right now. I'll help you.
Moving on.
I'll help you with the big words. I know there's a lot of syllables in there. I'll help you with that later on. So, Big Tom, why don't you take us
English, so he's good. He's fine with it.
take us to the standings, Big Tom?
Well, we decided in chat the bottom four is set. Can't be any changes in teams. There can be maybe some shuffling, possibly, but I actually think it's pretty set how it is. I wouldn't be surprised if 7, 8, 9, 10 stays this way the rest of the season. I think we're getting into the nitty gritty here. We're getting into the real. Nobody cares about 1 and 2. Screw them. We care about 3 through 6 right now.
Golly, I hate
That's
that.
like
Three.
every freaking year in this league, 3 through 6, man.
I guess we care about maybe like 3.5 to 6. I guess I feel like if you catch one more win, you're good to go. I wouldn't be saying this if you didn't have some of the losses that you had, though. You know, if, like losing Burrow, does it affect the whole thing? We don't have to talk about it. But you catch one more win, I feel like you're in. You're safe.
All right.
But I think it's going to be 9 wins, and then points 4 is going to separate a lot of that. And realistically, all 4 of us have a shot at 9 wins. So it's gonna, Aaron, he's sneaking on the outside again. He has an outside chance, but the points to do it again. We've heard this story
He has
before.
to win out, and one of those games is against you, Mike.
Yeah,
So
I get him in a good bye week that week for me anyway. But yeah, if Aaron wins out and he ends up with 9 wins, like, and he's tied at any point with anybody, he's got a big points for lead on all of us.
He's third overall in points, sitting there at 6.
So I'm
Crazy.
I have a tough matchup this week, but I'm shooting for 9 wins. I feel like that's the target number to at least come down to points scored.
I think yeah. This year, I think 9. We bumped it up to 9 this year.
I was planning for 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah, I don't.
a lot of scenarios, but and we were looking at it ahead a little bit, and there's a lot of potential for a lot of us to go 2-1 to really finish off with 9 wins. Worst
I
like
play.
our best
I
case
play
for me and Mark was 2-1. Sean's worst case is 1-2, and then we're all at 9 wins. Yeah.
Yeah. And if Sean goes 1 and 2, then the points they're struggling with the points, right? So yeah, I
Struggling.
basically need wins, I think, because I'm certainly a good deal behind in the points with all of those teams. It's a lot to make up. So yeah, it's really interesting there, which we've said that every year because it's been true every year.
I want to say it now for everybody. If I fall into the fucking who cares ball, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm finito. I'm fucking done.
Oh,
I can't do this 4 years in a row. I can't.
no.
Is there a scenario though? Like you'd have to lose out, and then two of us have to win out. I guess two of us. If Mark and I go 2-1 and you lose out, I guess you're in the who cares ball, right? Or do you
My
guys?
points would be garbage by then, and then you guys would both have 9 wins, and I'd have 8.
Don't do that.
I'm fucking done. Like you're gonna have to get another manager. I'm freaking done.
No. Last thing I want to see, Sean. Believe me, man. Much as I want to make a playoffs, the last thing I want to see is you drop out of it. So
4 fucking years in the who
Yeah.
cares ball. I can't do it.
you've been working hard to get up there, man. So well, that makes next week's matchups really interesting. So why don't we get into them, guys?
Let's do it.
We'll start with the marquee mark matchup of the week. We're going to go with the DBs going up against A-Bomb. I've said it before and I'll say it again. A-Bomb has the points, but he needs the wins to keep pace. So tough time to come up against the DBs this week. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, if we're targeting 9 wins, this is make or break already for Aaron. If he drops this one, he can't get to 9.
Yeah, and he's got a big old hole at tight end that he needs to fix.
I guess.
And
Well, he has likely to throw in.
Yeah.
there.
I mean, it's not a 1-for-1 replacement, but it's not a. It's he had some good success last year when Andrews is out. So
I guess though,
And you know
because it's Aaron, you have to think outside the box on this. There is, he could drop this tough one, end up with 8 wins, and because he has the big points lead, he's not all the way out after this one. But it lowers his chances bigly.
so you're saying that there's potential that 3 has 9 wins and 4 is 8 wins with points.
I haven't looked at who can, like, you'd be, if you're at 9, that would mean Mark and I have to go 1-2, and then Aaron has to go 2-1, and then we're all at 8. You're at 9, and then Aaron gets in off points. But I wouldn't say it for anybody other than Aaron, because that's what he does. He gets into the playoffs in week 15, the last week of the season, and
Week 14, boom, playoffs. You don't have to be there all year. You just got to be there one week. I mean, like in Miami, he's got Mostert. Like he's gonna be the lead back there. Jacobs is always good to go crazy, but he's playing Kansas City. Uh, Allen is playing Philadelphia at Philadelphia. That could be a really bad weather game potentially, but supposedly Philadelphia gives up a lot of points to the quarterback. Davis needs not to lay an egg, and he needs some freaking luck from the DBs.
DBs are beatable.
They are beatable. Somebody here beat them.
Got, got Zay Jones on the bench. Got Shakir. If he's tired of Gabe, maybe put Shakir in there. But I don't know. Philly, their defensive backs aren't good this year. It's like they got a really good pass rush, but their defensive backs aren't good. They did. Who did they get in at the trade deadline? They did bring a guy in, but they're still kind of vulnerable to the pass there. So this is a week where just let it ride with Davis, man. I think he can exploit a matchup there somehow.
If Darius Slayton plays, he should play him.
Yeah, I don't know. Slayton, what was Slayton's injury? See if I can see here.
Arm.
Arm. Yeah, and he was like, from what I understand, it was like immediately out into the locker room kind of thing. So I don't know. We'll have to see an update on that. But problem is they're not playing Washington this week. I mean, uh, Slayton
Play
was a
New
good
England.
play New England, but I don't know, man. Yeah, he's got to do that magic that he does. But he's a lucky individual, man. Playing him in a league a couple weeks ago. That league we don't talk about. He's got no quarterback, and I because Ritter's out. I'm like, hey man, you want to trade for Heineke? I got Heineke. I'll trade you Heineke, and he declines, and he just throws Ritter in there. Freaking Ritter was back in the game because Heineke got hurt. Like, how does A Bomb always do that, man? He always seems to do something like that. No, no, no. I'll just play Ritter. Ritter's the backup, dude. Ritter ends up playing 3 quarters of the game, I think. You
I,
know. So
I'm
A
gonna call
Bomb,
it
he's just a blessed individual, I think, man.
right. Sean Tucker is gonna go in and score 14 points for him.
Yeah,
His
maybe.
average per game is 0.5, so therefore he is primed for a breakout game.
I don't know. He beat the DBs earlier in the year, but it's a tall order this week to do it. Although his Bills are coming along, coming alive. I say as his Bills go, he goes, and they're kind of coming alive with that new offensive coordinator or whatever's going on there. But at Philly, that's a tall order too. We'll see what he does, man. See what he does. All right, we'll go on to our next matchup. We got Goofy Jay Z versus FNG. Got the battle of the bottom four here, and it could be a preview of the battle for the 101. They both have their own first rounders. Kind of the most exciting thing is see how they do this week, knowing that they might be battling out in the bottom four.
I think FNG should just sandbag this one, not to show him the cards. You're gonna play him in the playoffs. You don't want him to show him your defense scheme or offensive scheme. Just take it easy, and then when you get into the playoffs, just swat him.
I kind of, yeah. My first thought was if you're F and G, you want to win this one. Hope that Silly loses, and then F and G goes back to seventh, and he gets the tips in the first round of the playoffs. But I think you're right. I think you sandbag a little bit, and then beat the shit out of him in the first week.
Yeah,
Good.
Maybe
take the guy out.
Mm-hmm.
maybe sign a guy off of Goofy's taxi squad to get the down low. Yeah, not a real exciting matchup here for playoff implications or anything like that, but it is kind of exciting for that bottom four competition. Goofy, yeah, he's got to get things going here. He's got a lot of first round picks, and one of them's his own, and he wants to pick as high as he can. So it's a week for Goofy to try to get things back on track. I see he's got Chandler up in there. Talked about him, scoring on his bench. Got Chandler up in there right now, so looks like he's making some moves to try to get it done.
Actually,
See,
this one's kind of interesting because something Ricky brought up in chat today of the bottom four. They have some of the highest points against in the league.
That is crazy, isn't it?
And so, yeah, Goofy has 1409, and then in second place is FNG of 1360. Like, so we all just.
FNG.
so that means one of them has to go off, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Someone's putting up like 200 points this week.
Goofy was playing the top five schedule, and he kind of went into rebuild. So that one makes a little bit of sense. But FNG is just a freaking tough luck kid this year, man. He's just catching everybody on their best weeks, it seems.
Yeah, his points four are, in the playoff mix.
Yeah, what are his? Let's see here. Look down at the league and boom. Yeah, I was thinking he might even have more points than me, which he does. He's got more points than me at this point. So crazy. All right, not much to say about that one. We'll go on to one that's really important here for the playoff implications. That is the Pooh Crew versus Tank Top Mike. So yeah, this is a big one, and that's what she said. But can the terrible tanker keep on slaying the Giants and get that magic win number 8? Of course, we already decided maybe it's magic win number 9 that you need, but you got to have 8 before you can get 9. What do you think about your matchup this week?
Yeah, you could look at the win loss implications and say, oh, you could drop this one and still go 2-1, and you get your 9. No big deal. Well, I beat him once. I'll do it again. I'm not worried about it. We're on to.
Big Dick Rick over here, just beating the DVs. Gonna come in the next week and beat Ian. Pooh Crew. I personally have very mixed emotions on this matchup.
Yeah. I'll
Very. I want Tank Top to beat the Pooh Crew because Pooh Crew can go down in a pile of flaming hot shit for all I care. But for my playoff hunt, I kind of need Mike to stop fucking winning and start tanking again.
He's been trying, man. He's just
It's
terrible at it.
It's tough.
It's terrible. He went from the top tanker to the terrible tanker, man. He just can't get anything right, man. Like I told you, he can't do anything right. Booker's got a few tough matchups. You got Herbert going up against Baltimore, so right there where you're hoping for a 20. They got a really good defense this week. Good at pressuring the quarterback. And I see ATN in there against Houston. That's one of those divisional matchups, and Houston's been really good. And then Keenan Allen to go along with Herbert. He's up against Baltimore too. And man, who else have they got to concentrate on? Just shut down Keenan Allen, and what else you got to do with the ragtag guys they got in there? So it'd be a tough week for him for sure. Got some good matchups, but he's got some key tough matchups. So I could see this one going a certain way, which makes you the worst tanker of all time.
He does have somebody playing on Thursday in his flex spot, so that tells you anything.
Yeah. His Poo Crew.
Kind
I
of
mean,
weird.
it's Poo Crew. You know. Yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to see that.
No, wait. He has two Thursday night games, Thursday games in his flex spot.
Yeah. I love dumbass.
It's kind of a rookie. Yeah, we're a rookie move, I think.
Yeah, what a rookie move. You don't deserve to win with that bullshit.
No.
The commissioner should just kick you out of the fucking playoffs, anyways.
Does let's see what Tank Top's got. Yeah, he's got Dustin Thursday night there. Kittle Thursday. Yeah, you got them all set. Yep. Got a
No.
Thursday defense even.
Yeah.
But they're in the right spot, you know. So
You
got
know,
some
rookie.
got some Thursday games. You're gonna know pretty quick what's going on here. So
I figured, Detroit's a up and coming team this year, and we eat a little duck and watch the Lions.
there you go.
We did get a duck.
It's the classic too. Green Bay and the Detroit, man. That's the classic matchup from my childhood. I remember as a boy, it seemed like it was always Green Bay, Detroit. Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting one, and you got Pickens in there. Cincinnati's a good matchup. See who's calling plays. Have they said who's calling plays for Pittsburgh? Is it
They
Tomlin
said
just
something about the quarterback coach.
okay?
The
Yeah.
Okay.
quarterback coach calling plays.
Time for him to take a step up, and that makes sense because they got to get Pickett fixed up, or they got to get somebody else in there. So yeah, that could be a good one there. And of course, Jerry Judy.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the better he does, the better Cortland Sutton's going to do for you, Sean. So I'm all for it.
Whatever
All
you're
for
putting
it.
into his coffee in the morning, Judy, just keep doing it. Because all he knows how to do is score a touchdown.
All right. If you guys are ready, we'll go on to our next matchup. That is the Johnsons going up against Silly Dilly. I'm trying to get that magic number 8, which we have said again is magic number 9 now, but you got to get 8 before you get 9. I got a tough matchup against Dylan, who's on a winning streak. What do we think, guys?
You don't want to know.
I want to know. Tell me what you think, man. He's going to get me? He got it?
Dilly, 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 dilly. That's what I fucking think.
Okay. Let's hear it, man. Expand on it.
Well, you'll talk about knowing on Thursday. You'll know on Thursday how this one's going to go. Dilly has Washington. So he's got Howell, Brian Roberts, Sam Laporta, Dobbs. He's got a lot of Thanksgiving guys.
He sure does. Yeah. I got Cooks in there because Washington's been really bad against the pass, especially since they let Chase Young go to the 49ers. And I got Ayuk in there on Thursday, so I got a couple Thursday. You're right. And I got my Dallas defense in there on Thursday. So there's
And you
a
got
big
some, Black Friday guys in there too.
yeah. I got Black Friday Waddle in there, and I got Black Friday Brees Hall. Yeah. So yeah, I got a lot of early starters in there. Yeah, it looks like Dallas defense against his Howell and Brian Robinson is going to be a key matchup in this one.
We'll
gotta-
see what happens there. I can't wait to be friggin' sitting there watching football with you and Dallas Cowboys getting ran all over by B. Robinson.
Yeah, the RB4. He's
Before
got and he's got Rondale Moore in there, so I got Kyler starting. So if Rondale Moore does stuff, then it kind of evens it out. So I gotta hope that
Hey,
I
Trey
gotta hope he-
McBride. Let's just pump the brakes on Rondale Moore a little bit. Trey McBride needs to do some stuff,
I'm sitting Hollywood, man. He's been disappointing. He had a lot of volume, but he hasn't done a lot with it. I figured if I sit his ass, he'll finally start performing. So I'm fully expecting Hollywood to go off on my bench this week. But hopefully
Sometimes
we're looking Trey's way, not Rondale's way. All right, let's go on to our last matchup here and wrap this thing up. We've got Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass going up against the Prince. So, yeah, you hit that magic 8, Sean, but again, it's magic 9. And you hit it 2 weeks ago, but your roster took a big hit with the loss of Burrow. So you got to make some hay this week against Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass, who have lost 17 in a row. Wow. Talk about exciting. What do we got here, guys?
Go ahead, Mike.
If you lose, I might have to leave the chat for a while.
17 in a row. It doesn't sound good for me.
I mean, I know. I couldn't frame this. I couldn't frame this up anyway. I just was like, all right, I'm just gonna let these guys talk it out. I'm gonna say the facts. The facts are the facts, and what
All
what
right,
do we got?
so we look at this matchup on paper, and we're
Right.
like, oh, the Prince should just walk away with this win, get number 9, the Magic 9, and coast into the playoffs, right? Let's pump those brakes real fucking quick because Chase doesn't have a fucking wide quarterback to throw to him. And for him to be projected 13
Any
points against Pittsburgh is very, very generous.
and he might not be 100% because you remember he hurt his back and he hasn't quite been right. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but I got him in another league. I'm just saying again, facts is facts.
Moving down my list into my other top wide receivers, I got Justin Jefferson in my lineup trying to make something happen on that. That may not happen.
Might not be
Uh,
clear.
Cup, one of the guys that I was like, hey, I'll get Cup and I'll be good. I'll have freaking 3 potential top 5 wide receivers. No, you can't do that.
Great
Fucking
matchup
no.
too. If he can get in there, great matchup, but we don't know.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, I like the when you look at Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass from quarterback on through tight end, you kind of like what you see there. But then when you get down into the flex is where it gets a little iffy, and then they've got I mean they got Tennessee going against Carolina. That's a smart play, but I don't know. Almost go Denver against Denver's been the hot defense. I'd almost go with them against Cleveland rather than Tennessee there. What do you got? You got the mic. You got the mic close.
Hey, Mike, how do you feel about QJ?
He sucks.
Oh yeah, QJ man, QJ. I've been saying he's a project, and so far the project's not going well. I mean, he's got the golden opportunity, and that pass he dropped last week, man, that was big time. Well, one of the two. I think there was two passes that one was questionable if they wanted to call it a drop or not, but that one was definitely a crucial drop on him, man.
I'd like to give you a positive piece of news. Olave is going to ball out with Winston because
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna need it, dude. I'm gonna absolutely need it.
Winston is going to first play of the game is going to be 60 air yards to Olave. He might not run that route, but Winston will throw it, and that's awesome.
Olave does a slant and Winston throws a 60-yard out route to nobody.
I will say on all the Thursday matchups, you never know how those are going to go. It's a short week. It's all about who can do the best prep on a short week, and who's ready to go, and who's maybe a little rusty and not ready for it. So it is. This is always a crazy week when it comes to those games.
You'll
I
be
don't know.
fine.
I don't have any like losing to Dilly has completely thrown my whole like because he put it like all right. So last year Dilly had this fucking voodoo right that anybody that played him underperformed immensely right.
Yeah.
He waits to play me late in the season and put the voodoo on all my guys, and now I am limping into the playoffs where I should be. Come get me, but
Could you imagine losing to Silly and then the Tips in back-to-back weeks?
all right, that's the show. I'm fucking out of here.
Oh man. Yeah. Can you say fucker? Because I have a feeling you're going to be saying that a lot this week.
I'm not kidding. If I go to the fucking Who Cares Bowl, I'm done. You're gonna have to
Oh.
put Landon in my freaking. I'm fucking done.
All right, well, get it done this week, and we won't have to worry about that. So let's make it 18 in a row.
Let's make it 18 in a row. Ian, you fucking suck.